Sometimes history repeats itself, and sometimes it writes a brand new chapter. When Galeno rifled that screamer against Arsenal in the Champions League months ago, the world stood still. But who could have known that months later, he'd replicate that exact same strike, same curl, same magic. Not in Europe, and not for Porto this time, but in the final of the AFC Champions League Elite. For Al Ahly, for Jeddah, for all of Saudi Arabia. April 29th, 2025. A night every Al Ahly fan had etched into their hearts when they totally outclassed their arch-rival Al Hilal 3-1 in the semi-final. After beating Al Hilal, there was the final step, just one more hurdle to rewrite the club's destiny. This was the moment everything led to. A year of pain, of patience, of promises. The night before the final, Al Ahly's coach stood firm before the press. There's only one step left. Just one. And he meant it. One last battle. One last roar. One last push to rewrite the club's destiny. It was more than a game. It was a war of legacy. In the opening minutes, it was chaos. Kawasaki came fast, sharp, hungry, pressing like wolves. They didn't come to play, they came to steal. Their morale was sky high. After all, they had just knocked out Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr in the semifinals. Confidence oozed through every pass. Within minutes, they were testing Al Ahly's steel. Marcinho, their Brazilian spark, danced past defenders like they weren't there. He glided into the box, pulled the trigger, but fate whispered, "Not today." The ball screamed across the face of goal and missed by inches. On the other end stood Al Ahly, not just a team, but a battalion forged in fire. They didn't flinch. They answered. Ivan Toney, twice, came inches from glory, only for the Kawasaki keeper to deny him with desperate brilliance. But pressure was building. The storm was coming. And then, the moment. Minute 35. Firmino, composed and deadly, slid the ball to Galeno, who took one touch and then bent a thunderbolt into the top corner. A right-footed masterpiece. Silence shattered. The stadium erupted. But Jeddah wasn't done dreaming. 7 minutes later, lightning struck again. Again, it was Firmino, floating a ball that hung in the air like destiny itself. Frank Kessie rose like a lion, thundered a header into the back of the net. 2-0. Jeddah exploded. Fans lost all control. We were living a dream. With that second goal, something shifted. The crowd believed. The team believed. The trophy was no longer a dream. It was within reach. Kawasaki, the giant slayers, were suddenly toothless. They offered little threat. 7 attempts, 0 shots on target. Roger Ibanez was a stealth wall. Every time Kawasaki advanced, he stood taller, clearing, blocking, commanding. Many didn't even break a sweat. It was defensive perfection. The seconds were dragging. Every tick of the clock felt like thunder. Every clearance echoed through the hearts of millions. The stadium was no longer watching. It was praying. And then, finally, the whistle that ended the pain. The whistle that ended the waiting. The whistle that crowned a legacy. Al Ahly, champions of Asia. Fans wept, not out of sorrow, but for the years of suffering, the heartbreak, the relegation, the fight back. Tears of joy, of relief, of redemption. From the terraces to the turf, every eye glistened. This was not just a title. It was deliverance. This wasn't just a win. It was a statement. Then came the night that painted a city in pride. Jeddah turned green, a celebration fit for kings. The Jewel Stadium had roared, but what followed was pure magic. Banners waved from every rooftop. Horns echoed through the streets. A sea of green filled the avenues. The championship bus rolled out, and the heroes of Al Ahly stood tall, waving, smiling, holding the trophy high under the glowing night sky. Organized in partnership with Jeddah Season and the Ministry of Sports, the celebration wasn't just a club affair. It was national pride, painted in green and gold. Saudi Minister of Sports, Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Al Faisal, called it a victory not only for Al Ahly, but for the nation. A moment that adorned the Saudi sporting legacy. From the heart of the stage, Mahrez stepped forward with his signature smile and the mic in his hand. I promised you the continental title, he roared. And here we are celebrating it together. Then came the next vow, one that sent shivers through the city. Next season, the league is ours. The streets erupted once again.
Next season we take the league, huh? Next season, the league! Dowdy!
It wasn't just a celebration. It was a glimpse into the future. Al Ahly fans have suffered more than most, from bitter defeats to relegation. But they never left, never stopped singing, never stopped believing. And today, their loyalty was rewarded. This wasn't just a win. This was redemption. For the badge, for the city, for every soul in green and white. Champions of Saudi, champions of Asia. This is Al Ahly. This is our time. But the celebrations didn't stop in Jeddah. The kings of Asia were received by the man who made this sporting revolution possible. His Royal Highness, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the visionary behind Saudi's transformation, the mastermind of a dream that turned into destiny, the godfather of football's rise in the kingdom. As Al Ahly stood before him, proud, united, victorious, it wasn't just a meeting. It was history meeting its author. Under his leadership, Saudi football has risen to heights once unimaginable. And this was only the beginning. If you felt the roar, the tears, the pride, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe to relive every moment of glory with us. This is not just history, it's a legacy.